Okay, and I think that's a good place to end off the stream. I mean the indicators work. That's a plus, right?
You've installed. Hardware
Well, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt.
Reproduces how sounds in Forza.
Who can forget the starter car of TDU2, the first gen Mustang GT Fastback? Thankfully, this time not sporting a particular livery though. The Citroen 2CV. Whenever there's a fucking get out of the way, you fat track hawk. Oh. The Trackhawk took that personally. So it'd be very suspicious if I said, flash me, right?
I don't know what you mean. Why would it be?
But with a completely different suspension system, off-road tires, and a bash bar, it's pretty obvious this isn't stock. We did just get some news. Let's take a step back and look at the new Solar Crown lore. You may notice that you're not.
Let's start this one. Street supremacy. Are there more street people in this race right now? Alright, let's see. First the race. Alright.
Studios have to use whatever they can get their hands on. For example, Forza Horizon had to make do with whatever fans could bring down for them, and sometimes they're really not the greatest examples, like these two Toyota Supras are far from stock, even if so-called JDM fans want you to believe otherwise. It's such a massive task. Even if Test Drive Unlimited is known for that, Kiloton probably has other priorities than getting the steering wheel on the right side, like making the rest of the game. Since we're on the top, TDU is known for extreme quality, getting all the small details right, so a lot more time is spent on a model than say one from the Forza franchise. You have to remember that it doesn't just scale that for Solar Crown, that'd be 98 cars, which actually doesn't sound like a lot, but as soon as that number rolls over to TDU1 featured a silver DB9, and you can't look at the Aston Martin 177 without immediately thinking of TDU2. Solar Crown changes it up though, from the iconic silver to a grey Aston Martin, to make it more in line with the Sharp's dull and monotone vibe. What do you mean I'm not allowed to say that? Wait, okay. Seriously though, I have no idea. Yellow Lamborghini Gallardo. So already, a Huracan would have been the perfect embodiment of modern TDU. Elegant versus stylish. Instead though, we got this abomination of a vehicle. If it wasn't enough that the Land Rover in an atrocious gold chrome paint livery, which would make for the ultimate wet dream for a FIFA YouTuber. Although combined with its manual gearbox, it's definitely more of a driver's car out of what is normally an otherwise, dare I say, boring car. Again, the 911R has not. The Crown currently has two. The BMW i8 Roadster, which has SLK 55 AMG, returning from TDU2, is confirmed for Solar Crown. This is the Dodge Viper SRT track pack. Cars, but I'm sure Kiloton haven't pulled a The Crew 2, and hopefully there'll be TDU1's 8 Asian cars. Obviously, there are still things that need to be ironed out, like ensuring a Lamborghini Huracan can't ramp cars like Grand Theft Auto. That aside though, just that every car has its own unique sound. Personally, I'm all for this because I really hate it when my Porsche Panamera sounds exactly like a Jeep Trailcat, and if you think that's a joke, yeah, it really isn't. Sound. I assume they can't say all manufacturers because some might be more snobbish, although when your car is in the game, I can't see why you Think of what people do when they're playing older games. Need for Speed World lives on to being a competitive online arcade game, whereas Forza Horizon 1 brings back memories of when the franchise was actually not shit. So what do people do in Test Drive Unlimited then? Well, they drive. They say you shouldn't try drifting a car with a lot of traction because, well, it's going to grip. There is this misconception that drifting requires no grip, but you do actually need enough traction to pull you around the corner. So you actually do the corner rather than Minecraft Ice Boat into the abyss.
Is that alright? What's that?
They did say that even if your car isn't adapted to it, it won't go up in smoke. Now, don't get me wrong, I adored the announcer's remarks in Need for Speed Pro Street if you brought a silly car, like a Carrera GT, for a drifting event. But this is definitely more of a serious game. Since I'm guessing the 6 residential apartment blocks on top of a shopping center doesn't exactly sound amazing for an elderly clan. Surprisingly, in the VIP area there's a pool instead of a lawn bowling pitch, although in its current state is an Alpine A110, which is not to be confused with the Alpine A110, and finally the Abarth 500. Now via the cruiser trailer, we can see the Abarth 500 with a bunch of other cars, which, going left to right, are aptly named overrated, okay, underrated, boring shitbox, actual shitbox, and sex on wheels. Solocran has Theo or Black Panther driving a Nissan GTR, meaning we have a whopping 2 Asian cars, so you can break that champagne out. And finally, the suspension/braking, transmission, aerodynamics, tires but with English simplified spelling, and ECU. It seems that headlights to start these, and in Solar Crown it's no different. Katie says you get bare minimum. Explains that all races are mainly multiplayer events, with AI filling out the starting grid if there's not enough players. Need for Speed Unbound. Each event has from bronze to Solar Court, with the top player being crowned as the Solar King or Queen, which I assume is dependent on sex. I said sex, not gender, please don't cancel me. Anyone who's crowned as the Solar King or Queen, which I assume is dependent on sex. I said sex. Your gearbox setting, which you can choose between
manual, semi-automatic. Oh, these are the weapons.
Sorry, Kiloton, your words, not mine. Remember? I'm really happy that they did decide to delay this news though, so it didn't get overshadowed by GTA 6 or the paid awards, since this is quite a fair bit of info for one. A similar question to Kiloton. Will you be spending your time cruising or racing in ranked? Anyway.
Wait, Leon, really?
Yeah.
Imagine that though. Imagine being a criminal. You
God.
There's something inside you. It's hard to explain.
TDUSC Solocran's Taycan is something you won't find in another game. Don't believe me? Well, of course the Porsche Taycan has been in a lot of racing games. It's an awesome previous sports car, and because it's not an awful Tesla, everyone wants it. The problem is, they've all got the wrong